Hello, beloved friends, and welcome once again to another Divine Laws program where you and I study the very laws that shall govern our lives, not only for now, but throughout immortality. And why is it that it is important for us to study these laws? Because as we grow in wisdom, we are able to make better choices by aligning our own will more consciously with God's will, utilizing our reason and faith together. And we are grateful to Kardec for having utilized his own reason and faith in order to ask 1,019 questions, which he organized in the Spirit's book for us. Tonight, the focus of our attention will be particularly on question 83. Let us then begin, shall we, dear friends? In question 83, Kardec asks, do spirits have an end? We can understand that the principle from which they emanate is eternal. But what we are asking is whether or not their own individuality will come to an end, and whether or not, like material bodies, at some given time in the near or distant future, the element from which they have been formed will disintegrate and return to the mass from which it came. It is difficult to understand how something that had a beginning would not also have an end. So, in answer to this question, the illuminated spirits answered to Kardec and all of us in the following manner. There are many things that you do not understand because your intelligence is limited, but that is no reason to reject them. A child does not understand everything that their parents understand, nor does an uneducated person understand all that a scholar understands. We are saying that spiritual individuals' existences never come to an end. That is all that we can say for now. So, beloved friends, this statement that spirits never come to an end is so empowering, consoling, loving, and merciful because we know that even in the face of physical death, our true existence never ceases. This is a motivation for us to see life from a different angle rather than focusing our attention on the horizontal life, only seeking for material recognition, recompense, material resources, material knowledge, though valid. We Now that we know for a fact that we are indeed immortal, we are here on earth reincarnated to build our relationship with God and with the spirits who are in voice of God in the higher realm. The most prominent of whom being Master Jesus, our guide and model, and under whose governance we all are. So this lens, the vertical spiritualization of our lives, changes the way we conduct ourselves. Why, we may ask? Because since we know that one, we will never die, though our physical vest will perish someday. And two, since we also know that we are meant to continue progressing, we also come to understand three, that life is not a vacation where we tend to entertain ourselves constantly, nor are we to acquire material resources to no end, accumulating assets for no higher purpose. No, because we know that we are constantly progressing, we no longer see life as a vacation. We see life as a school. So we understand why tests come our way. We no longer push the tests away, the lessons away. When we start building a vertical relationship with the higher realm, with God and Master Jesus, and the envoys of God's love consciously, we know that these tests are learning opportunities for us to develop eternal virtues, such as patience, compassion, kindness, mirthfulness. And we also, number five, dear friends, never give ourselves to despair, because we know that no matter the circumstances, as Mother Mary used to say when she was incarnated on earth and still does in the spiritual realm, this too shall pass. So, dear friends, understanding life from this vertical, spiritualized perspective strengthens us, provides us with courage, and provides us with a comfort, knowing that God shall sustain us not only for now, but throughout immortality. What a beautiful new light that this understanding brings to our hearts and lives. So, beloved friends, together our therapeutic exercise is to answer the following question: how does my life change knowing that I am an eternal spirit? Let us think of at least one aspect of our lives that shall change throughout the week this week. Every day, let us ask ourselves, now that we know that we are eternal spirits, we will act differently in the following way. Blank. Let us complete this statement every day. Because, for instance, now that I know that I am an eternal spirit, I will not allow myself to be irritated at the slightest frustration in life, because I know that I have guidance from on high, that I have a guardian angel, that I am here to progress. So rather than labeling myself as cursed because of frustrations, I will say, thank God for the opportunity to exercise patience. For instance, this is just an example. Let's say that we are experiencing a temporary ease that manifests itself in the physical body, are we going to be despaired? No. If we look at ourselves from the vertical perspective rather than horizontal, and if we spiritualize our lenses, then we know that these eases are one, temporary, and are mechanisms through which our perispiritual bodies filter nodules that may be clogging our spirits. So, allowing for the body to filter those nodules makes us lighter. So then we don't see illnesses as a punishment. We see them as an opportunity for us to become lighter spiritually and to learn again a little bit more about patience, for example. So we can look for the good, dear friends, as we spiritualize our existence, looking up vertically towards God rather than staying in the horizontal. Our life, the way we feel, perceive life, shall change. It will become easier for us to look for the good, to feel the good, and to multiply the good as proposed by the Spirit Mentor Emmanuel in chapter 10 of the book Thought and Life by psychographed by Chico Xavier. So let us, beloved friends, enjoy this beautiful exercise proposed by the mentor, shall we? For every day this week, we will complete the following statement. Now that I know that I am an immortal spirit, willing to spiritualize my existence, how shall I act differently? I will act differently by, and each day we complete the statement so that we become more attuned using our reasoning and our faith with the reincarnatory plan from on high designed for each and every one of us to progress always. So, with our hearts filled with hope, dear friends, and joy of living, as well as much gratitude to God, we wish everyone a wonderful evening or day wherever you may find yourselves, and we already look forward to seeing everyone again next time. In the meantime, let us stay tuned to Kardec Radio, where we are always nourishing our souls. Bye for now, dear friends.